Chelsea take on Barcelona tonight in a massive Champions League clash at Stamford Bridge. Naturally, a lot of the discourse surrounds young Estevão, Willian and Lamine Yamal, both of whom are tipped to have absolutely massive futures. And this got me to thinking, Chelsea being on the youth revolution at the moment, who are the 10 youngest Chelsea players ever to debut in the Champions League? Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And today, we're doing a listicle, if you will. And we're going to talk about the 10 youngest players ever to play for Chelsea in the Champions League. We're going to go from oldest, which is still really young, do you know what I mean, but to the youngest. We're going to see how old they were when these players made their debuts, and exactly where are they now. But guys, before we get into it, if you're enjoying the content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Right, so let's get into it, man. Number 10 on the list of the 10 youngest Chelsea players to debut in the Champions League, we start with Jeffrey Bruma. Jeffrey Bruma made the move to Chelsea in 2008, moving from the Feyenoord Academy over to the Chelsea under-18s. He never quite managed to break into the Chelsea team proper, but did make his Champions League debut at the age of 19 years and 10 days old. Jeffrey Bruma also featured for the Netherlands international team 25 times, scoring 1 goal, and played most of his games back in his home country at PSV Eindhoven. At 34 years old, Jeffrey Bruma is now retired. Number 9, a slightly more recent, slightly more familiar one, it is Callum Hudson-Odoi. Callum Hudson-Odoi was a Chelsea academy player who got his breakthrough under Frank Lampard, and man, we were all so excited about Callum Hudson-Odoi. He looked really special for a youngster, man. He looked really special for a youngster. There was that whole saga where, I think it was Bayern Munich were looking to pay like 100 million for him or something, and we said no and we wanted to keep him, and ultimately that didn't prove out to be a great move, because due to a mix of patchy form and some stuff going on in his personal life, Callum Hudson-Odoi never really hit the heights at Chelsea, but he did manage to make his Champions League debut at 18 years, 10 months and 25 days old. Callum Hudson-Odoi has been at Nottingham Forest for the last few seasons and has become one of their most important players. At only 25 years old, he's still definitely got gas in the tank, but I think it's fair to say he's probably never going to hit the lofty heights that were once expected of him as a youngster. Number 8 is a personal favourite of mine. It is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Mate, I wanted this guy to be so good. I mean, he was so good, do you know what I mean? Ruben Loftus-Cheek had so much potential, man, so much potential. Another Chelsea academy player who, in spits and spats and in certain moments, just looked absolutely unbelievable. A very versatile midfielder who had a rare blend of massive stature and really good technique. He featured quite prominently under Italian manager Maurizio Sarri and got his Champions League debut at the age of 18 years, 10 months and 17 days. Ultimately, Ruben Loftus-Cheek was one in a long line of players who never reached their full potential because of injuries, and that was such a shame because he looked so good. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is now 29 years old, and that makes me feel old, man. But at the end of the day, he is doing well over at AC Milan, and although, again, sadly never hit the heights that was once expected of him, he is a fan favourite over in Milan and is having a pretty good time over there. Next up at number 7 is a player I'm not super familiar with. His name is Samuel Dalla Bona, an Italian central midfielder who made his debut for Chelsea at the age of 18 years, 9 months and 18 days old. He made 9 caps for Italy over his career, and now at the age of 44 has retired. If you ever watched this guy, let me know what he was like in the comments, man. I'd love to know. And at number 6, it's a player that some of us will remember. It is Fabio Borini. Fabio Borini is probably most well known by Premier League fans for his spells at Liverpool and Sunderland, but made his Champions League debut for Chelsea at the age of 18 years, 8 months and 9 days. At the age of 34, Fabio Borini is still playing. He currently finds himself at the club owned by the class of 92 Salford FC in Manchester, and he only ever managed to get 1 cap for Italy. And at number 5, it is Gael Kakuta. Gael Kakuta joined the Chelsea Academy in 2008 and went on to make a lot of loan appearances before getting a shot in the first team. He made his Champions League debut for Chelsea at 18 years old, 5 months and 17 days, but like many of the players on this list, never quite managed to find his way into the first team. Gael Kakuta is now 34 years old and playing for Turkish second league team Sakaryaspor. I hope I said that one right. Although now retired from international duty, he got 28 caps for DR Congo and scored 3 goals. Next up at number 4 is a player we all know, know very, very well. It is Estevão Willian. We bought Estevão Willian at the age of 16. I'm pretty sure he was 16 when we bought him from Palmeiras, but we left him out there for the following season. He is tearing it up in a Chelsea shirt at the moment, and this guy's future is just uncapped. That he could become one of the best players in the world, and we're all getting really, really excited about it. Estevão Willian made his Chelsea Champions League debut this year at the age of 18 years, 4 months and 24 days. And unlike a lot of the other guys on this list, we are really, really, really expecting to see big things from this guy. Estevão Willian is also tearing it up on the international stage with already having 11 caps for Brazil and scoring 5 goals, which is categorically better than a lot of the players on this list managed in their entire careers for their countries. Next up at number 3, it's a real blast from the past. It is Josh McEachran. In around 2011-2012, Josh McEachran was being touted as a massive future superstar for Chelsea. He made his Champions League debut for Chelsea at the age of 17 years, 6 months and 17 days old. Just another case of what could have been, ultimately never really lived up to what was expected of him. Josh McEachran is now 32 years old and plying his trade at Bristol Rovers. He never managed to get into the England senior team but made 15 appearances for the under-21s, scoring 1 goal. At number 2, we have a familiar player who's still playing in the Premier League. It is Dominic Solanke. Jose Mourinho was convinced that Dominic Solanke was going to be like big things, man, big things, and unfortunately that didn't turn out to be the case. But there was a lot of faith in the youngster as he made his Chelsea Champions League debut at the age of 17 years, 1 month and 7 days. Never managing to really break into the Chelsea first team, Dominic Solanke found himself at Bournemouth, where he had a really, really good spell, and more recently has just moved to our London rivals Tottenham Hotspur. Unfortunately, he spent quite a lot of time out injured, but there is still potential at 28 years old for Dominic Solanke to have a good career. He's managed 3 caps for England, but hasn't scored any goals for the international team. And at number 1, the youngest player ever to make his Champions League debut for Chelsea is Reggie Walsh, and again, like Estevão, that happened this season. Reggie Walsh is still an academy player who has very rarely featured in the Chelsea first team, but there is a growing hope that he could develop into a future superstar. He made his debut for Chelsea last year at the age of 16, but only this year in the Champions League at 17 years and 2 days old. Oh mate, can you imagine? If he'd have played the Champions League game before that, he'd have been 16. That's nuts. Not much to talk about with Reggie Walsh in terms of career stats yet because he's still in the thick of it. He's made 5 appearances for the England under-18s and scored 0 goals for them so far. But I am hoping to see a lot more of Reggie Walsh over the coming years. So that's it, guys. That's the 10 youngest players ever to debut for Chelsea in the Champions League in particular. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments and I'll do a Premier League one. There was some real blasts from the past in this list, man. I couldn't believe Josh McEachran, like Ruben Loftus-Cheek, obviously, Fabio Borini, that I often forget was a Chelsea player. And just looking at this list, it seems that Chelsea's commitment to giving youngsters debuts in important competitions does actually stretch back a really long way. Samuel Dalabona on this list made his debut in the Champions League in 1999. Crazy stuff, man, crazy stuff. But that's it, guys. I'm going to wrap the video up there. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you very much for sticking around until the end if you did. I am pumped for tonight's game against Barcelona, and I'll be back tomorrow with my match reaction for it. I'm not going to be able to do it tonight, but I will try to have it out first thing tomorrow. Nice one, guys. I hope you're all having an absolutely wicked day, and I'll catch up with you very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.